I'm Amy from Whiteacres and I help your business look irresistible so that your ideal clients are desperate to work with you. Do you use imagery when you're talking about your business? Did you know that by 2018, 84% of communication is expected to be visual? That's quite a lot, isn't it? 84%. Worth paying attention to, perhaps. 2018 is now not all that far away. So why is it that visual communication is such a big deal? I found some stats and I'm going to share them with you. So if you hear some information, then you are likely to remember only 10% of it 3 days later. However, if there's an image included as well, then you'll remember 65% of the information 3 days later, which is quite impressive, isn't it? Reading is inefficient, pictures are instant. After all, 81% of people only skim the content that they read online. Using text and illustrations to follow directions gives you 323% improvement over someone following directions without illustrations. 323%. Imagine going to IKEA and receiving instructions without the pictures. I'd probably give up. Tweets with images receive 150% more retweets and 89% more favourites and 18% more clicks, which equals more exposure. And on Facebook, posts with images see 2.3 times more engagement than those without. And Giphy is surfing more than 1 billion, yes, 1 billion GIFs a day. People like GIFs. You probably guessed that because they are everywhere at the moment. Also, video is expected to account for 74% of all web traffic this year, with 52% of marketing professionals claiming that video has the best return on investment. So ignoring visual communication is probably not a very good idea. If you spend some time on it, then you'll have far bigger impact in less time than it takes to watch this video when someone sees your content. If that wasn't enough for you, here are some more reasons why visual communication is really important. So visual communication is fast. Your brain processes visual information 60,000 times faster than text. Wow! This is great for you because this means that providing an image is a really quick way of getting your information seen and noticed by the right people. How often do you scroll through your favourite social media channel and a certain image will just pop out at you and make you stop? That's what you're aiming for, to be the disruption that makes your ideal client stop and then click through to find out a bit more about you. Images equal clarity. Using imagery can help to not only support what you're saying, like having the IKEA instruction manual and needing the illustrations for support, but to provide more clarity on your point. Sometimes you're reading something, maybe a bit like the blog post that goes with this video, and you just need a handy infographic to help you grasp all the stats, right? Infographics are liked and shared on social media 3 times more than any other content. Visuals help you to stand out. So here I go, banging on about brand identity and consistency again. It's my thing, I can't help it. But it is a really effective way to make the most of that tiny gap when your ideal client sees your visuals. Using the same colours in each post, including your logo in the same corner, using illustrations in the same style, these all help with brand recognition because you are being consistent and ensuring that your imagery is recognisable, and your images will stand out, and you will be the disruption that we were talking about earlier. People will notice you, and that's a good thing. That's what you want, isn't it? Visuals create more engagement. I've already covered some facts on this, but here's some more, just for good measure. So last year, 37% of marketers said that visual marketing was the most important form of content for their businesses. Second, only just by 1% to blogging at 38%. Maybe using visuals on a blog is the way forward. Organic Facebook engagement is 13.7% higher on posts with photographs and 13.9% higher on posts with video. And posts that include images have 650% higher engagement than regular text posts. That's a lot. So if you want engagement on your blog or on your social media, then using visuals is clearly the way to go. Using images will help people to remember what you said. Remember the stat that I mentioned earlier, you want people to remember at least 65% of what you say, right? So you need to use an image, otherwise they'll only hold 10% of it 3 days later. It's so much easier to recall an image in your mind than to try and think of what you read. So if you're looking for a specific article in a newspaper or a magazine, you'll tend to look for the image that went with it, rather than looking for the title or the first few words. Did you know that 65% of the population are visual learners? So how can you use imagery in your business to ensure that you make the most of it? So I have some ideas. It does not have to be hard. You can ensure that you have a really strong brand identity and a style guide that you can follow, which will mean that all of your visual communication is on brand. You can become friends with Canva. It's free, it's easy. It means you can create images while you're still half asleep and they will look good. You can use those images anywhere and everywhere, on Facebook, on Twitter, on your blog, or posts, on Pinterest. Anywhere you can possibly think of, you can put them there. You can ensure that your offline imagery is consistent with your brand image and has the same vibe as the imagery that you are using online. You can have a set of illustrations created that you can use everywhere over and over again. You can create GIFs. You can use Giphy for this, as I mentioned before, but there are loads of other places where you can do this too. You can use screenshots. That's pretty easy. You can use photographs. You can take your own if you're any good, or you could use stock images. But the best thing to do is obviously to hire a photographer to take amazing photos for you, because these will be so much more show-stopping and so much more in line with what it is that you're all about. You can create videos like this one and embed them in your website. You can also embed social media posts on your blog. You can create a slide share and ensure that you include images in it to get your point across. You could embed this on your blog as well. You can use memes. You can create an image to highlight a sentence or a heading, so just basically text in a box, but not lots and lots of it, just a little bit of it, just to sort of break up the text and make your key points stand out. Or you could use a graph. I mean, there's so many things you could do. So let me know in the comments of any useful tools that will help others to create visual content. And if you like this video, please share it and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.